It's Friday, March 1st, 2024, and this is the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your host, Marcelo Pico, editor-in-chief of Talk Film Society. And here with me, coming up on the anti-penultimate episode of this award season 2023 series, it's my co-host. She's been here this whole time, except for that one episode where she recorded like half of it and then went to sleep. Then Matt Carrion came in and guest hosted the rest of it, except for that one time. Bring that up, man. Just to be factual about it. I mean, you weren't here for the whole thing. You were here for most of it, like 85% of it, I think.
85. It's way more than 85.
No, I mean, if you can't, okay. Think about it. I think this is the 12th episode of this. You skipped half of one. Do that math. Maybe 90%. 95? Is that better?
I like the sound of that better, I guess. I just don't know why we got to qualify it. I mean, I've been on every episode.
You've been on, yes, actually, yeah, you've been on every episode. But percentage-wise, you weren't here the entire time. It's Siobhan over. Hello, Siobhan.
What's up, Marcelo? Thanks for having me back. I hope to maybe make it through this entire episode.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Honestly, this could be the episode where I just leave. Get Matt Carrion on the line. Have you and him do English Patient. How about that, huh? I'm sure he loves English
Patient. He actually hasn't seen it, or he's only seen parts.
Oh,
talk to him about it.
Interesting. Oh, well, did you record it? Did you record that conversation?
We did not record that. No, it was a very small Twitter message.
What's the point of having a conversation about a movie and not having it on an audio recording?
Able to release it for other people.
Exactly, for other people to listen.
Ostensibly.
Yeah. Hey.
Other people.
This is the Talk Film Society podcast. Siobhan and I like movies. I tricked Siobhan into talking about the Oscars for several months now, since December. and I'll be up front. I am on little sleep. It's not that I've been having sleeping problems. I just woke up early this morning, and for reasons, and I just watched the movie of the week this week, English Patient, at like 6 a.m. in the morning. And since then, I've watched 3 other movies.
That'll wake you up. That's a cup of coffee. Right?
Actually, I had to have a cup of coffee. I made a cup of coffee. I watched The English Patient at 6 a.m. and I made it. I struggled. Hey. But by the way, the movie of the week. Each week we do a category. Sometimes we do 2. This week we're doing 2. We're doing Best Picture and Best Director, and the movie we decided on is The English Patient. We'll talk about that later. But sneak preview to that conversation. I made it through The English Patient, all 2 hours and 40 minutes of it. And I saw 3 other movies today. I think 2 of which I'll talk about later. It's still my 4th favorite movie of the day, English Patient, after seeing 4 movies. So, actually, you know what? No, I like Drive Away Dolls better than The English Patient. I had more fun at Drive Away Dolls. Sorry, English Patient. But we'll talk about that later. All right, so I think we can move on to the news. You get up get up to anything over the weekend, Siobhan? We're recording on Monday, February 26th, a few days
Marcelo,
before.
What are you doing? Did I get up to anything? Is that the news?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. Did you get up to anything over the weekend?
Sure, I went to a friend's birthday party at a restaurant.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I haven't seen him for a long time. It was nice.
Oh, nice. What'd you have?
I had the herb-encrusted salmon.
Ooh, how's that?
It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Are you a fan of salmon?
Nice place. I'm a fish fanatic. Sure.
Yeah. Me too. How do you feel about shrimp?
How do I like shrimp, Marcelo. I like shrimp as much as anything else.
And I don't know. I want your opinion on some seafood. How do you feel about oysters? I know that's divisive.
Oysters getting them out of the shell's a little rough for me.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Do you have a least favorite seafood?
Hate to say that you might have already nailed it, but I don't like that.
Oh, you don't like oysters? Oh, oysters is on the bottom of your list. Interesting.
It might be.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's the news. We can go forward. What have we been watching? I'm joking.
Jesus Christ.
3 awards ceremonies happened this weekend. 3.
Whoa. Wait. Count that again. How many?
1, 2, 3. 3 awards ceremonies happened this weekend.
I don't even know what they are.
You don't? So my next question...
For 2 of them.
Well, yeah. Well, tell me the 2 you know.
I know the Independent Spirit Awards happened.
Yeah? You want to try that again?
I knew the Independent Spirit Awards happened.
Uh-huh.
And the Screen Actors Guild Awards happened.
Yes. Add to that, the Producers Guild Awards.
Producers, the PJs.
The PJs. The SAG Awards happened on Saturday, and the Indies and the Producers happened on Sunday. Did you happen to see either the SAGs or the Indies, Siobhan?
I did not get to witness either. No, I was too busy eating salmon at a restaurant.
Wait, the whole weekend? Saturday and Sunday?
Weekend.
Okay.
Had my time tied up, yeah.
I watched some of, or about half of, the Indie Spirit Awards. I did not see the Screen Actors Guild Awards. The SAG Awards now are on Netflix. They're live streamed on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I did not watch them live, but I saw some clips afterwards. The Indie Spirits, they were streaming on YouTube. I did see half of those on YouTube. But I don't even know if they even televised the Producers Guild Awards, so I just saw clips of that, like from somebody's phone. Some LA critic was zooming in on Kenneth Branagh's beard in the audience. I forget who was tweeting that video out, but I saw that and some other clip. I saw Chris Nolan accept the win for the PGA. I'm surprised Oppenheimer won the Producers Guild Award. Siobhan, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Nothing could surprise me at this point.
That's what makes the show great. No surprises. Okay, Screen Actors Guild. Let's go through some of those. Did you see any clips, Siobhan? Did you see any you see the list of winners or anything?
The list of winners. No, I purposefully did not look at any of this stuff because I wanted you to tell me here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's go through it. The Screen Actors Guild Awards. The 30th
Big Ensemble Award.
The 30th annual. Yeah, so
I saw that. That surprised me. They've only been doing this for 30 annual years.
Yeah. Do we care about the TV stuff?
No.
Okay, we can skip the TV stuff. Let's go straight to the film. All right, let's start with Best Supporting Role by a male actor. Gotta preface that. Male actor.
Man.
A man.
Men. People who protrude testosterone through the screen.
So Robert Downey Jr. won. That's no surprise. Robert Downey Jr. is cleaning up. Best Supporting Female Actor. Take a wild guess who won.
Take a wild guess at who won the female actor.
Yeah.
And the actor goes to Lily Gladstone.
No. Well, yeah. Hey, you're being catty, Siobhan. Being catty.
Am I not?
Well, we're talking supporting female actor.
Support, and the actor goes to supporting actor Divine Joy Randolph.
Yep, you're right.
Great.
I thought you were making a joke because people were
I was not. I thought I was doing actors.
Category fraud. Hey,
No.
Those people can go fuck a shit. All right. I don't. We've done this before. We've had this discussion before. Gladstone should be a lead actor. female. Guess who won Best Performance by a female actor in the leading role? Guess who won that?
Lily Gladstone.
You're right. Lily Gladstone won the SAG Award. This one's kind of up in the air. We I think we said even last week that it was a tight race between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone. But hey, Gladstone picked up the SAG, so leaning towards her, I think, at this point when it comes to the Oscar race. And also, I think the Oscar voting will have ended by the time this episode comes out, but I think it ends this Tuesday. So it's crucial that these 3 ceremonies happen this weekend, because this is the last full weekend before the voting closes for the Oscars. Speaking of a tight race, guess who won the male actor in the leading role?
I think tight is the word there, Marcelo. Okay. You're trying to lead me towards Cillian.
Yep. The tight actor, Cillian Murphy, did win lead actor. And we said this last episode too. Seemingly a tight race between Cillian Murphy and Paul Giamatti, but Cillian...
He got 80% of the vote.
He got 80%. 80% of the vote. And this is the only category they told us on stage. They go, 80% of people voted for Cillian Murphy. Which is weird. But yeah, okay. And then those were the 4 acting categories. And now for the outstanding performance by cast in a motion picture, the Ensemble Award. The nominees were Killers of the Flower Moon, Color Purple, Barbie, American Fiction, and of course the winner, let's say it together, Oppenheimer. Congratulations to Casey Affleck, Emily Blunt, Kenneth Branagh, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Josh Hartnett, Rami Malek, Cillian Murphy, and Florence Pugh. Yeah, I forgot about this one. I should have said this one earlier. Outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. The nominees were John Wick Chapter 4, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Barbie, and the winner, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise get one? Because he's like the stunt guy, right?
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't know who would win that. Like who went up there and... I mean, did they even present it at the actual awards?
Are they allowed? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, are some people allowed to sit next to actors at award shows?
Can they even be in the same building?
Yeah. Maybe they were like at a satellite location. It's like they were in like Nevada or something. But those are the SAGs. When it comes to the race, this feels like it's all a lock. There could be a surprise. I heard people theorize maybe Huller might win Best Actress. Kind of sneaking in there, and it'd be a big surprise. But I don't know. My gut says those 4 actors. I think those are gonna be the Oscar winners. I don't know how you feel, Siobhan. But it seems like a lock. I think it's a good thing we're not doing any more categories after this, because this next 2 weeks is just, we already know. Why even have the Oscars at this point? Am I right?
I know.
Yeah.
They should just release like a list like they used to do, or like have a guy come out read it.
Yeah, just one guy, just a random dude. Yeah. Okay, so those are the SAG Awards. No big surprises. The Indie Spirit Awards. All right. Okay. I did watch half of this. Hosted by. Let me get into it. A fun show, hosted by A.D. Bryant. I think she has some good jokes. I laughed a few times. There's a clip going around this morning of her kind of referencing the Golden Globes hosting debacle. She's like, did you see this clip, Siobhan, of Bryant doing this?
No, I haven't seen anything.
So let me do my best. I'm not gonna do an impression. I'm just gonna just sort of recreate it for you. Okay, she goes, "Oh, you know what hosts like to do? They like to roast celebrities. Who's gonna get the roast? Oh, who's in the room? Let me see. Natalie Portman. For May December. Hey, you dumb bitch." And then she did that for like 3 other actors. I forget who else. Yeah, but that's a good bit. And I cannot go on any further without discussing this, because this is something not to be ignored. About 30 minutes into the show, I guess to finish my thought, like, it cannot be ignored. People who were there ignored it. I think a few people did mention it as it was happening, but I cannot ignore it. 30 minutes into the ceremony, the Indie Spirit Awards are presented on the beach in LA in a giant tent. I think they do that every year. So there were protesters across the street from the tent. I think they were just like a group of like 5 people, and somebody had a speaker, like a handheld speaker, loud enough where the ceasefire, free Palestine chants could be heard through the tent as you're watching the Indie Spirit Awards, as one would watch the Indie Spirit Awards. Like, people watching could hear it. People there obviously could hear it. The first person who made a mention of it was Jim Gaffigan, but he made a joke about it, like just kind of like tossing it aside. I forget who exactly, actually like called it out and said good. I should have that information, but I don't. But for the most part, it was people trying to ignore it, or if they make reference to it, just make fun of it. But yeah, it's undeniable that it was happening. I say good for the protesters. They, mission accomplished. But yeah, weird vibe through the night or through the day, because this award ceremony notoriously takes place in the afternoon. But yeah, so that had to be said. Ceremony itself, yeah, fun. It's the Indie Spirit Awards, so some of these movies I just had no awareness of. They're very small movies, some of these. But you got May December won Best Screenplay. You got Anatomy of a Fall won for Best International Film. You got Divine Jordan Randolph, Best Supporting Performance. Jeffrey Wright, Best Lead Performance. Best Director, Celine Song, Past Lives. And Best Feature, Past Lives. So, some love for the smaller movies, like Past Lives. American Fiction won Best Screenplay. May December won Best First Screenplay. I should clarify that. But yeah, this might interest you, Siobhan. How to Blow Up a Pipeline won Best Editing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Glad to see that getting any recognition anywhere.
Yeah. And you won't like this.
Good.
Best Cinematography, The Holdovers won.
Oh, fantastic. They figured out a way to make their movie look like shit. Good job, guys.
So yeah, those were the Indie Spirit Awards. I think that's all that needs to be said. If you want to read the rest of the winners, please go do so, listeners. But I will say the most significant thing that happened was that protest. So we'll see what happens at the Oscars, if anybody will be brave enough to say anything about Palestine. I'm betting they won't. And we talked about the Producers Guild Awards. Oppenheimer won. The end. A busy weekend for award ceremonies. Siobhan, any thoughts?
Crazy stuff.
Crazy. I mean, come on. This one thing we can agree on. Some crazy shit happening during this award season, right?
Up there in Hollywood land,
I think we're ready to move on. I think we're ready to go to our next segment. Are you ready, Siobhan? Are you buckled in?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
You think you're done?
I think I'm done with that news.
Oh, I thought you think you're done. You're going to push the red button. Is this going to be one? Because loyal listeners will know that both of us have the right to stop an episode at any time. So I thought Siobhan was saying, "Okay, I'm done," and just ending the episode 30 minutes in.
No, I'm done with the news. I saw Ryan Gosling was supposed to perform I Am Just Ken.
Oh yeah, that's news.
So
Yeah,
that's
thank you,
gonna be
Siobhan.
nice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Ryan Gosling will perform. I'm just Ken at the Oscars.
Yep. Great.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Next segment. Hey, what is it that we have been watching? Oh boy. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go?
What is it that
first?
we have been watching?
What is it that we have been watching? I feel like I went first last time.
I think so. Okay.
I don't remember.
What is it that me have been watching?
Siobhan, what is it that Siobhan's been watching?
Last week.
Previously on the Talk from Society podcast.
Where do I start? I watched Eli Roth's Thanksgiving slasher movie themed around Thanksgiving.
So this has happened to you last week in your life, not last week on the show. I thought you were ramping up to something.
No, last week I watched this last week I watched
previously in Siobhan's life.
Thanksgiving. What'd you think of that?
Thanksgiving? I remember liking it. I
like it.
Eli Roth is whatever. Piece of shit, sure. But the movie's entertaining. It's got some good kills.
Zionist, certainly.
But yeah, it's good.
Gore. Really good.
Good gore.
Effects.
Yeah. What is this? The year 2000?
Hey.
Good gore.
Speaking of the year 2000, here's a movie that was made just before that in 1998. It stars Denzel Washington. It's called The Siege. When I was watching this, I thought for sure this movie had to have been made post 9/11, and I was wrong. So that just makes it slightly more, or even more. It's jingoism and racism even more appalling. The Siege, bad movie. The Fugitive, thriller. What a thriller! They call The Fugitive a thriller, and they do that for good reason. It's a thriller.
Speaking of Oscars, big Oscar contender, The Fugitive, and
BP
winner.
Nominee, right?
I'm looking that up right now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Best Picture. Here, Best Sound Effects nominated, Best Sound nominated, Best Original Score nominated, Film Editing nominated, Cinematography nominated, Best Picture nominated. It won one Oscar. You guessed it. Tommy Lee Jones, supporting actor.
Wow!
Did you not know that?
I did not know that. No, I knew it was like an Oscar movie, but I didn't know to that extent. No.
Yeah, I think people tend to forget that because it stands on its own as like a great thriller, as some would call it. You just did. So talk about The Fugitive.
What a thriller!
Okay.
A game of cat and mouse. No, it was very exciting. It's a really well-made, exciting thriller. Marcelo.
It is. It's a great movie. It is.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. Okay.
You like that?
What, the movie or what you just said?
Or was that answer not good enough for you?
No, the answer's good. I don't know why. It's late. I haven't had enough sleep, so I'm just losing my mind. Okay.
I haven't either.
Have you watched this before? Was this your first time watching it?
This was a first-time watch. All these first-time watches.
Wow, okay. So The Fugitive, that's a thumbs up in your book.
Big thumbs up.
Last week. Hold on. One more question. How much of The Fugitive, did you already know about? Like, watching the movie where you're like, oh, I know that reference. Like, did you say that a lot? Is that,
No.
No, because I know that The Fugitive was parodied a lot in the 90s. The Simpsons did a parody.
I knew that he was just like a guy that got accused of killing his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I knew. Like, even like who did it or whatever. I was like, maybe Tommy Lee Jones is behind it. I don't know.
Oh, that would have been a twist. But yeah, it's based off of an old TV show Because in the 90s that was a big trend too. It's just, hey, got the Brady Bunch, got Addams Family, got the Fugitive. Let's just make all these TV shows into a movie. And I think I knew going in because of pulp culture and all the parodies. I knew it was the One-Armed Man who did it, right? I think that's what a lot of people knew back then. But nowadays, yeah, youngsters like you, Siobhan, have no idea. All the touchstones are gone in society. Nobody talks about the Fugitive.
Seems like it, yeah. I didn't recognize anything.
Yeah. So, okay, but you liked it. Good.
Last week, Marcelo. Last week.
Previously
for this
Siobhan's
very
life.
show.
Yeah? Previously on Talk Film Society podcast.
Yes, Talk Films. We did The Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
And I had seen previously Manhunter on my own, and I'd seen whatever the most recent Hannibal Rising movie is. But I had never seen Hannibal or Red Dragon.
Ooh.
And I found access to Hannibal.
Ah.
And I watched Hannibal.
Ooh.
And I liked Hannibal.
Ah.
It's definitely a different movie. It doesn't feel like they just tried to do Silence of the Lambs again, which I appreciate a lot. Kind of creepy. We got that amazing brain-eating scene with Ray Liotta. I dug it. It's a good Ridley Scott horror thriller-y kind of movie. It's good. Yeah. Nice getting shots of Florence. I like Florence, Italy a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a place that fascinates me.
I'm glad you sought it out, because I think I talked all about it last week, about the Hannibal series, and I mentioned Red Dragon. Oh, sorry, Hannibal. Yeah, worth a watch. An interesting Ridley Scott joint. And I do want you to see Red Dragon. That's interesting for other reasons. I think maybe it's my least favorite of the ones I've seen, Red Dragon, but still worth a watch. Hannibal, though, I have my issues with Hannibal, but I'm kind of with you almost. I'm like, it's its own thing. Scott does his own thing. It's just I have I mentioned I've read that book. I read Hannibal the book, and
I think you briefly mentioned that you read them all. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess spoilers for Hannibal, the book and the movie. At the end of Hannibal the movie, they changed the ending to the book. In Hannibal the movie, Clarice escapes from Hannibal's clutches. Hannibal gets away. In the book, I don't know if you know this, Siobhan, but Hannibal Lecter drugs Clarice to the point where she's just in love with him, and they run away together. And
I have heard about that. I think that would have been hard to pull off. I think
weird
it's
choice.
An okay change.
Yeah, I'd say I prefer the ending of the movie, because the ending of the book is weird.
Okay, I thought you were being like a purist here.
No.
I wanted to see that happen to Julian.
It's not the ending that I wanted for Clarice, the book ending. And also I'll say this: the ending of the movie, I like it better, but it's also not super satisfying to me. It has a weird ending, the movie. But anyway, to me it's a weird movie overall, but enjoyable. It's enjoyable Ridley Scott horror film. So at least we got that.
Weird but enjoyable. Are you talking about the next movie I watched, Wonka?
Oh, hey, you watched Wonka.
Definitely weird, definitely enjoyable.
Very weird, very enjoyable. Did you were you surprised when they started singing? Did you were you fooled by the advertising? You're like, what is this? A musical?
I had it already known to me that it was a musical. But is the music is kind of the worst thing about it. Like none of it stands out really to me at all.
I like 3 songs.
Okay, but it's not offensive. It's completely fine. It's just like, I don't know, it doesn't feel that essential. I'm kind of surprised this didn't get anything at the Oscars, did it?
No, we looked that up, I think, last week. Not a single nomination for Wonka.
I'm surprised. One of those original songs, or like production or visual effects, something. So, like it's a very good looking movie.
Yeah.
In my summation, if you were to ask me.
Yeah, Siobhan, whatever question you were going to ask yourself, I'm asking you now. Answer it.
Costume design.
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask. What would you nominate it for?
Production design.
Costume design or production design? Yeah.
Production design.
Oh, just production design?
Well, if it's one thing, production design.
Oh, fine. More than one thing.
Costume design.
Jesus Christ. And is that it? Just costume design and production design?
Sure, yeah. One of the songs. Well, it would be fun to see Timothée Chalamet sing at the Oscars. Why not?
That'd be so much fun. Wouldn't that be fun? Folks,
he's got a pretty flat voice. He doesn't have the best voice.
It's, yeah. I'll talk about Chalamet later. But I was expecting the worst. I said this on the show. I was expecting the worst, but it was a fun little musical. I enjoyed a few of the songs. Can't say I'm probably going to see it again. Maybe if I'm at home with my family and my niece and nephews, I'll be like, hey, let's watch Wonka, and we'll have a good time. So it's good for what it is.
Okay, and now, Marcelo, before I send things off to you, I think we have to do one more edition of a beloved segment on this show.
Oh my God. Is this what I think it is?
Called Stonewatch.
Ah!
Stonewatch is back.
Stonewatch, baby.
I watched the Oliver Stone picture, Salvador.
Salvador? All right.
I watched Salvador starring James Woods and Belushi.
You don't know which one, though. I'm guessing it's James.
Jim Belushi. Playing a character named Dr. Rock.
The fuck? Okay, talk about this movie.
Yeah, so it's like James Woods is like a piece of shit, kind of goes on like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas style journey from the US when he's poor and stuff and can't make it there. He's a photographer, and he decides to go down to El Salvador, the country, because everything's cheaper there, the way money translates. And also there is a civil war currently happening, and him being a photographer, he's going to capitalize on that, take some pictures, come back up, sell them. And he scams his friend Jim Belushi to come along, so it's like this weird buddy comedy road movie down to El Salvador. And he has this involvement with a girl who has 2 kids that live there. I don't know if they're his 2 kids or not. I don't remember. It's okay. It's fine. Soon after the war kind of gets too much for him, and he gets like really deep in the shit and kind of like on the front lines, like photographing the war, and him and his friend have to like get the fuck out of there. It's fine. It's okay. It definitely feels like an Oliver Stone movie. Very politically charged and whatnot. But it's not his best. Like, he got better at it. I don't know. It's fine. James Woods is fine. It's fine.
Nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Screenplay and Best Actor. James Woods nominated.
Okay. All right.
Interesting, right?
That is. Okay.
We can move on. Was that it?
That's the end. Stonewatch is over. My movies are over.
Stonewatch. Siobhan's movies over. All right, Siobhan. Good picks. Good game. My turn. Where do I start? Let's see. I want to highlight 3 movies. Try to spend not so much time on this first one. Folks, go see Drive Away Dolls. Or as the final credits reveals, the name of this movie was changed. Originally, it was going to be called Drive Away Dykes. There's a funny gag at the end of the movie where in the closing credits, like, there's a sign that says Drive Away Dolls, and then the dolls falls away and it says Drive Away Dykes. So that's a good gag. Directed by Ethan Cohen, written by Ethan Cohen and Trisha Cook, who is the spouse of Ethan Cohen. Starring Margaret Qualley and Greladine Viswanathan. You may have seen her in Blockers. But yeah, okay, those two leads, very good. I was kind of worried halfway through this, about 30 minutes in, 45 minutes in. It's a short movie, by the way. I'm like, hey, is this movie good? Is a Coen about to make a bad movie? And then it won me over. There's a twist that happens that I very much found amusing. Again, the two leads are very, very fun together. Overall, made me laugh. And for 84 minutes, I mean, it's worth your time. So if it's in theaters, go see it. Or just wait for it to come on Peacock, because I think it's a future Peacock movie. So that's Drive Away Dolls. Good job, Coen. Next movie, I saw this just tonight. Problemista, directed by Julio Torres, starring Julio Torres and Tilda Swinton. This one's coming out in limited release in the next week, and then wide release at the end of March. And this movie premiered a year ago at South by Southwest, and because of the writer's strike, I pushed back. It was going to be released in August, I think, of last year. Then I got pushed back to March of this year. Anyway, worth the wait. Good movie. I enjoyed myself. There's another movie where I was kind of worried in the beginning. It's like, is this movie going to be good? Is this a bad movie? Then it did win me over. I think Tilda Swinton is great. Julio Torres, if you know anything about Julio Torres, if you're a fan of any of his work, then you're going to be a fan of this movie because there's a lot of him in it. And it's something I connected to. It's an immigrant story. Julio Torres plays somebody who is trying to get a work visa, and in order for him not to get kicked out of the country, he has to befriend and get Tilda Swinton's character to sign off on his visa to stay in the country. And Tilda Swinton's character she's the lead because she does a lot in the movie, even though it is Julio Torres' character's story. But this is a Tilda Swinton movie. If you're a fan of Tilda Swinton, you gotta see this. She plays a struggling art critic who tries to put on a show for her husband's art with the help of Julio Torres' character. And yeah, that's as much as I'll say. Go see it. If you're a fan of, again, Torres or Swinton, you must see Problemista. Coming soon. And the big one, the one everybody's gonna be talking about for the next several weeks. It's like, hey, at parties you're gonna be like, hey, did you see the new Denis Villeneuve movie? Hey, Siobhan, did you see the new Denis Villeneuve movie?
Danny.
Did
you see Danny's new film?
Did you see Danny's new film? You see Danny V's new film?
Did you see DD's D2?
DD's D Part 2, or Dune 2, or Tune, with a 2 replacing the D. Yeah, I saw Dune Part 2 this past Sunday. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be out March 1st. So maybe a lot of people will have seen it, but by the time they listen to this, I'll just say, yeah, I'm gonna be in the chorus of praise. Yes, this is a great movie. Watch it on the big screen. If you liked Dune Part 1, you'll enjoy Dune Part 2. I like Dune Part 2 a little bit better than Part 1, even though I think overall I have issues with these two Dune movies. And we talk about this on the commentary for Dune 1984, which is out now on Patreon. Actually, by the time this drops, you can listen to me and Siobhan talk about Dune 1984, directed by David Lynch. Listen, the Denis Dunes, they're good. They're Lord of the Rings level, like, big, huge studio blockbusters done right. The craft, the cast, all of it, top notch. I said it on the commentary. I say it here. Sometimes I think, do I like the David Lynch Dune better than the Denis Dunes? I don't know. Call me crazy. Having said all that, I don't know. I'll see Dune Part 2 again. I did enjoy myself a lot. It is it's an amazing movie. So I'm eager to see Part 3 because not to spoil anything. I mean, Denis said it in interviews, like he's already writing a Part 3. He's going to adapt Dune Messiah. So this story will continue, possibly, if this does well at the box office. I'm sure it will. So we'll see a Part 3, and I'll be first in line. I'll see Part 3. I do like what Denis does in this world. So that's Dune Part 2. That's my review.
I'm excited. Very excited to go.
Yeah. Again, if you liked Part 1, you'll enjoy Part 2, and you might even like it better. Siobhan, you haven't seen it yet, but do you have any questions for me now that I've seen Dune Part 2?
The way that the first one ended, does Dune 2 like pick up immediately right there?
Yeah,
as if it was the same story.
Yeah. And I'm happy I have you watched Dune Part 1 like the 2 days before watching Part 2, because it picks up right after, which I do appreciate. And it doesn't feel like they skipped a step. It could have been one of those things where, I mean, what's an example? Like I guess the Chris Nolan Batman movies. I mean, you're like, hey, like where did Katie Holmes go? Right? There's none of that. It feels like the same production, the cast is there. It feels like they're shooting this back to back, which they didn't. I think there's like a whole year difference between productions, I think. But yeah, I'm eager to like sit down at home and watch Part 1 and Part 2 back to back and kind of have that experience.
And how's Austin?
Austin is very good. He does another crazy voice, and I think he's a good adversary to Timothy Chalamet.
And did you cry seeing your hero Christopher Walken back up on the silver screen?
One thing I'll say about that is before the movie started, I saw this in IMAX, by the way, the biggest screen in town. A packed house, sold out show. Great to see it with a crowd. Before the movie started, I heard some bros a few rows behind me go, wouldn't it be funny if Christopher Walken just did a New York accent, in this movie? Cut to Christopher Walken doing a New York accent in Dune 2. And those two bros I could hear laughing in the background. Because, hey, Christopher Walken, great. But along with everybody else in this cast, they just do their own like voices. Like nobody's affecting like an English accent or anything. Christopher Walken is Christopher Walken. He's great, but he's like, I can't do Christopher Walken. I'm not going to do it. But he's good. But he's like doing his classic like menacing Christopher Walken. And I'll give a shout out to Timothy Chalamet. It's not that I doubted him in this role, but in Part 2 he does a lot more, and I think he is a great actor. I gotta hand it to the guy. I think he's definitely growing past his baby face, era, and becoming a more grown up leading man. And this definitely pushes him to that. So, one more shout out. I gotta mention Javier Bardem. It's almost like maybe the biggest difference between Part 1 and Part 2. It's just how much fun Javier Bardem is having in Part 2 versus Part 1. Because he's kind of gloomy in Part 1. But in Part 2, Bardem is having a ball. And a lot of the funnier moments in the first half of the movie belong to him. So he's a highlight. After talking about this movie now, thinking about it again, I definitely want to see it again. Because it's, again, movies are back. Siobhan, the movies are back. Aren't you happy that the movies are back?
I love that the movies are back.
Movies are back. All right, that's it. That is all I've been watching.
Okay.
Well, that was the fun. That was the candy. That was the dessert. Now we got to take our medicine.
We eat our candy and our stomachs hurt, and now we got to drink up the cough syrup as much of it as we can guzzle.
Mm-hmm. Much like the lead character in this movie, we got to take our medicine and then take enough morphine to die at the end. That's right. The English Patient. It's the movie of the week.
So, we needed a movie this week that covered Best Picture and Best Director. And since this movie had been a slight running joke on this series, along with what's the other one? I'd bring it up.
A Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind, yeah. So it was either this or Beautiful Mind, or we could have done Platoon, I guess, for Stonewatch. I didn't think about that until too late. I suggested these because these were our 3 jokes, and Marcelo chose from them The English Patient to watch.
Yes, yeah. Blame me, why don't you?
And we watched The English Patient.
Yeah. Let's give our general thoughts on Best Picture, Best Director.
It won 9 Academy Awards.
It won a lot of awards. We'll get to that. So Best Picture, Best Director. Let me start first.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll quickly say this. Yes, I've heard this not only be a gag on this show, but other shows I've done. TV Seinfeld, was making English Patient jokes. Back when it was fresh and new. This has been a punchline for years. I've not seen it. This was my first time watching it. I came in with just curiosity. I'm like, it can't be that boring, that bad. And to be honest, it wasn't. It was maybe entertaining is not the right word. It was watchable. It was well crafted enough. Willem Dafoe's in it. I like Willem Dafoe. It's got very attractive people. Okay, it's got Ray Fiennes, Juliette Binoche, Kristen Scott Thomas, Naveen Andrews. A lot of hot people. A lot of them having sex. But it's also 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I got my issues. It's not great. And we'll talk about the Oscars of this year that came out and what it won over. But I think there's a reason why it's been a punchline all these years. And also why nobody talks about it other than it being a punchline. And also, if you look at the director, rest in peace, because he passed away. I forget what year. I'll look it up. But Anthony Minghella, he passed away in 2008.
Max Minghela's father, by the way.
Yes.
The Spiral Killers dad.
Yes. He's the father of a Jigsaw. So this director, he directed some amazing movies. Like right after he does English Patient, he does The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I just watched a few weeks ago. I love that movie. It's like that movie should have won Best Picture if I had to choose of like what movies of his that I've seen that I want to win Best Picture. He also directed Cold Mountain, which is for my memory very good. But yeah, of course he didn't have like a long career because he did pass away at 54. So I wish he lived longer and he could have done more movies. But English Patient, it's fine. It's fine. Siobhan, your thoughts?
I agree with you. Ultimately, it's fine. I did not get swept away by the romance of it, but it's fine. It is a very good looking movie. I think it was paced very poorly though. I felt that 2 hours and 46 minutes snail by as slowly as possible. Wanting to check every 5 minutes thinking it had been an hour. And really that's my biggest problem with it. I don't know how you make a movie not feel so slow. But what I saw, it's fine. It's good. It's not a bad movie. It's just so fucking slow. And also I think I mentioned that like I wasn't really into the romance of it. I really wasn't. I think it was like very not romantic. The romance with Ray Fiennes and that married woman, like I think that was not good.
Colin Firth getting cucked by Ray Fiennes.
Didn't like that at all.
No, that's my biggest gripe with it is that's the central like story. Like that's what this whole movie revolves around. And there's a mystery around this, which I should read a synopsis. Like the mystery of it, I'm like by the end, I'm like that's it. It's like they talk about like spies and like there's like somebody who turned on the Allied side, and Willem Dafoe lost his thumbs, and he's like, I'm gonna get this guy. Are you the guy who took my thumbs? But then like the reveal is like so it's not worth the ramp up, not worth it at all.
Not at all.
Like not in the slightest. So yeah. Let's go to the Oscars.
Sure.
All right. So the 69th Academy Awards. Nice. The date, March 24th, 1997. The host, Billy Crystal. All right. First question, Siobhan. What film do you think won Best Picture at this year's Oscars?
I think The English Patient won Best Picture.
You are correct. Yeah. So the nominees for Best Picture, English Patient won over Shine, Secrets and Lies, Jerry Maguire, and Fargo. I'll say it here and now. Should have been Fargo. If memory serves right, Siobhan, I don't think you're a big fan of Fargo. Is that right?
I'm not a big fan of Fargo. No.
Yeah. Have you seen any of these other movies? Have you seen Jerry Maguire?
No, I haven't seen Jerry Maguire, and I have not heard of Shine or what's the other one?
Secrets and Lies.
I think I've heard that name, but no, I don't know what those are.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that you just said. I have not seen Jerry Maguire, and I've heard about Secrets and Lies and Shine kind of, but I kind of have no real. I'm not sure what they're about. So, Fargo, that's my pick. Best Directing, Anthony Minghella won. English Patient, he won over Joel Coen, Milos Forman. For The People versus Larry Flint, Mike Leigh for Secrets and Lies, and Scott Hicks for Shine.
Just Joel Coen?
Yeah, this was back when they couldn't share directing credit, and I think Joel would be the director and Ethan would be the producer or writer, and then they switch or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Flash
that's
forward
why.
A simple 25 years, 26 years, 27 years, and the Daniels are up there co-accepting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, just go forward from this 10 years, and you'll see Joe and Ethan Coen win Best Director on stage, Siobhan. So that happened.
Right.
For No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, sure.
Not to be that guy. Best Leading Actor, Jeffrey Rush, won for Shine. Best Leading Actress, Frances McDormand, Fargo. Best Supporting Actor, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jerry Maguire. Best Supporting Actress, hey, Juliette Binoche, The English Patient.
Wow.
Binoche, my favorite part of the movie, by the way. Have I made that clear? Binoche. I mean, speaking of Binoche, previously on Talk Film Society, I just mentioned Binoche. I thought she was great in The Taste of Things. So, and she's only won one Oscar, and is for this movie, English Patient. Best Screenplay, Original, Fargo. So the Coens did win the screenplay Oscar. Best Adapted Screenplay, Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton. And let's see, going through the other big categories. Let's see. I mean, a lot of it is English Patient. Best makeup, The Nutty Professor. Best visual effects, Independence Day.
Well, throw out all the English Patients. What do we got? What did we?
Yeah, let me open up all the English Patients. It won 9, nominated for 12. So 12 nominations, 9 wins. Here we go. Strap in. Best sound, winner. Best score, winner. Best editing, winner. Best costume design, winner. Jesus. Best cinematography, winner. Best art direction, winner. Best supporting actress, winner. Best director, winner. Best picture, winner. Best actor, nominated, Ray Fiennes. Best actress, nominated, Kristen Scott Thomas. Best original screenplay. No, sorry, best adapted screenplay, nominated. So it lost 3, won 9. Jesus Christ. In the Wikipedia page for The English Patient, this paragraph is here. The film is referenced in the Seinfeld episode The English Patient, where the character Elaine is shunned by her friends and coworkers for disliking the film. Have you seen that episode of Seinfeld?
I don't know it, no, but there is something about this that does just feel like the quintessential Oscars movie.
Yeah, let's talk.
Don't quite know why that is, and like I think that episode could tie into it, like that amount of exposure for it, and like that it's like the boring bullshit movie, and it won.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, let's talk more about it. Here's the official plot synopsis. At the close of World War II, a young nurse tends to a badly burned plane crash victim. His past is shown in flashbacks, revealing an involvement in a fatal love affair. All right. Speaking on what you just said about this being the quintessential, in quotes, boring Oscar winner. Yeah, I mean, it does. It has that reputation for a reason. I think because it's like a Miramax film, because it's so long, and yeah, it's a little slow. Like it earns that like stamp of approval. This is what you would call a boring Oscar Best Picture winner. But I still think it's good. I mean, not Fargo great, but I think it's just a good movie that, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what was happening at that time, 1996, where everybody was like, oh yeah, let's pick this kind of like traditional, very long romance story set in World War II, and give it all the Oscars. Like I'm trying to think of what we could compare it to nowadays.
Is it like how long after Titanic was this?
This is I think the year before Titanic.
This was the year before Titanic. Oh man, they were craving for it, and then they get it the next year, and they're like, "Oh my god, what were we doing?"
Yeah, let's give those Oscars back. Let's give more Oscars to Titanic. Looking at the 70th Academy Awards, which is the next year's Oscars. Yeah, Titanic was the big winner. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe at this point, late 90s, people were craving another epic, another like Ben-Hur, Lawrence of Arabia, Casablanca. I guess Lawrence of Arabia is like more apt comparison because it's war movie, desert movie, epic. You could call this an epic, even though I don't.
It is.
But it's to me it feels very intimate and small. But I guess the scope of the story and like just the time span, the flashbacks, like make it epic. But like you said, Siobhan, just wait a year, Academy. Then you're gonna get your epic. Then you're gonna get your big, old fashioned Hollywood classic.
You hear about this guy. You're reading the news stories about this guy submarining down under the ocean. Mm-hmm. Just trust them. Trust them.
Yeah.
That man knows what he's doing.
Like this Jim Cameron, he's going places. Under the sea.
What? Budget 27 to 31 million. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I know you said it feels small scale, and I know a lot of the scenes do just take place in 2 rooms with people talking to each other or whatever, but like,
yeah,
it felt more expensive than that to me.
Yeah, I mean, it does have some pretty good effects, although it's like, 1996 special effects, so it hasn't aged all that well. But I think for
flying over the dunes like very early on in the film, like part of that felt CG, right? And then like and like it still looked kind of cool, and then they showed it for real, and it was just like breathtaking.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm with you. Except that I mean, I was impressed with some of this. Like but again, I think the consensus we have here, Siobhan, is like it could have been shorter. And the fact that like it was set during World War II, and I know some of this is based on true events, but reading up on the true events, it's like the character that Ray Fiennes is portraying is based on a real person, but only the fact that he was like a map maker and explorer. Everything else is fake. Like the romance, the his death, all that made up for the movie. But it's the fact that it's set during World War II, and this love story is set during World War II, the main love story. Like to me, it's like just make the love story. Don't set this during World War II where I just see like no real connection. Like it's just set during World War II just because it's set during World War II. Yeah. Like I find the story interesting enough, but when you put it on like a war epic and you expand it to 2 hours and 40 minutes, I'm not as interested as what could have been like maybe like a 2 hour like a romantic drama. So that's how I feel about that's how I feel about the main plot with Ray Fiennes and Kristen Scott Thomas. I came in kind of not knowing exactly what the movie's about, so it was kind of surprising that the first scene you see Ray Fiennes' face being burned off. I did not expect that at all. Initially, that was kind of interesting in that like there's that mystery I was talking about earlier. It's like, oh, like who is this person actually? Then Defoe comes in and he's saying, this guy's not who you think he is. But again, like I said before, like that interesting concept of like this mysterious man who's lost his memory, and we see his flashbacks, and could he be a spy? Could he not? Did he kill people? In the end, not a good payoff for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Just a guy lost a girl in the desert.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, just to spoil it, like, the reason why he's considered a spy for the Germans is that it's too complex, it's too convoluted to even like. In reality, Defoe would be like, "What?" So you're telling me it's like you were just waiting for Colin Firth to fly in and pick you up, but instead Colin Firth murder-suicided himself with his wife, trying to kill you. He dies. You take his wife, who you're having an affair with, you take her to this cave. You leave her there. You walk 3 days, to go get help. You run into these English soldiers who don't believe you. They arrest you. Then you escape from their clutches. You go find some Germans. You trade in some maps for a plane. It's like, what?
And all of that is revealed over a pretty smooth montage. Yeah. It's like 5 minutes long.
He goes, by the way, yes, I went to the Germans. They had a plane for me. I gave them maps. And that's how I went. That's how I got that plane. No, it's again, it's convoluted. The whole conceit in the end is like Defoe forgives him, or just lets him off the hook because it's for love. But I still would have been upset. I'm like, what? Why?
Gave him maps to the Nazis.
Gave him maps. For love. Yeah, he gave him maps just to get back to his the woman he's having an affair with. But those maps led to Defoe's thumbs being cut off and like other people getting killed for love. And she was by that point
for love.
By that point, like Ray Fiennes had left Kristen Scott Thomas in that cave for what, like days? Like she was dead already. Like just leave it, guy.
Well beyond.
Yeah, anyway, that was the most frustrating thing about this movie. The length and the payoff, not good. But I'll go back. I'm gonna circle around to my favorite part, like the Juliette Binoche stuff. I find her very likable, like very charismatic. I liked the thing that she was having with Naveen Andrews, the soldier, and and he was doing his like Hurt Locker stuff, which is pretty interesting. Like all that to me is interesting. Her being a nurse, him being like a bomb diffuser, but that's just like what 20 minutes of this movie. Like it doesn't, not too much focus on it. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's a movie. I'm like, I can see why it won so many Oscars, but I can also see why I should not have won those Oscars. A better movie could have come in and gotten those awards. But it's hey, the Academy is gonna Academy sometimes. It's gonna pick maybe the obvious choice or maybe the one that seems like it'll be. Like they're like future planning. They're like, this will be the classic that people talk about, 30 years time. It's not gonna happen for this movie. Siobhan, I've rambled maybe too long. Do you have any more to say about this? About the English Patient?
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
You don't want to talk about it anymore. Barely mentioned Colin Firth. Who's
that bomb diffuser guy? I thought I liked him.
Yeah, Naveen Andrews, he's good. I mean, Colin Firth it's a weird role for him.
Very weird.
Very weird. I mean, he's good in the weird role. I don't blame him for this movie kind of just making a meal of like him getting cuckolded. That's the entire movie. That's what this movie is. Anyway, weird. That's it. I think I'm done too. English Patient, done. Whew. Best Picture, Best Director. Who's the best director this year of 2023? That's what we're asking ourselves. And what's the best picture too? We're asking ourselves two questions.
We're asking the biggest questions, I think.
Yeah,
both at once.
Yeah. This makes sense when I made my lists for Best Picture and Best Director, because they definitely overlap. Do yours overlap, Siobhan?
I would have to look again. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me ask you this specific question. Oh, by the way, this is a segment where we talk about our favorites of the year. Best Picture, Best Director. Let me ask you this. Do all five... Okay, I'm assuming you did this. I'm assuming you did 5 Best Directors and 10 Best Pictures, right?
Yes, 5 Best Directors, 10 Best Pictures.
Okay. Now, are all 5 Best Directors... are all those films in your top 10 Best Pictures?
They are. They are.
Okay. Yeah. Same with me. So what I want to do is...
But they're not necessarily the top 5.
Right. Mine are a little out of order, too. Are they? I'm looking back at the list. No. Mine are in order, but like... I can explain it once I go through my list. Should I go first?
If you please.
Okay. Trying to think of how to do this. Let me do Best Director first. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Same Best Picture.
Yeah. I guess I'll just go. I have no honorable mentions. I think I may have one honorable mention for Best Picture, but for Best Director, I have no honorable mentions for Best Director. All right, I'll just jump into it. Number 5, Jonathan Glazer, Zone of Interest. A director we talked a lot about when we talked about that Jamiroquai music video. I've said it before in this podcast, Zone of Interest blew me away. Intense experience. I've talked about his directing style. A very not necessarily in a way kind of hands off, in a way of like making the camera just an observer of what's going on. I think was an interesting choice and effective choice. But yeah, I mean, he's doing amazing work. He's only directed, I think, 4 films overall, and they've all been they've gotten better and better. And yeah, his work in Zone of Interest is incredible. So yeah, number 5. Number 4, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Yeah, not my favorite Nolan. I just saw Tenet the other day. I did not mention this during the What Is It I've Been Watching segment.
Your big IMAX experience, seeing Tenet.
No,
again.
I did not see it in IMAX, unfortunately. Long story short, I was expecting it to play at the big IMAX screen here in town, but Warner Brothers pulled the screening of Tenet for I don't know what dumb reason.
They said no, not here.
Yeah, that's literally what they did. I don't know why. That I think is better than Oppenheimer, Tenet. Siobhan.
Okay, man.
Yeah, okay. Siobhan thinks I'm insane.
Can't.
Yeah, you
Cillian
can't.
Murphy's not even in that one.
I'll get some blowback for saying that, but Oppenheimer.
Yeah, an atomic bomb's worth. Hopefully.
Okay, all right.
Blow your face off.
Oppenheimer is still incredible work from Nolan, doing what he does best, and the fact that he manages to gather all this talent, not only in front of the camera but behind the camera, and just make this what I've been trying to kind of boil down with Oppenheimer is that, and what I've appreciated from like the cast and crew doing interviews about it, is Nolan wanted to make this like a musical sort of operatic film for 3 hours, like with the music tying everything together. And I think that's a huge reason why I think it's an incredible movie, is that music. And I said this before on the Best Score episode. But yeah, it's just his vision of putting all these elements together, making it so impactful that makes him my number 4 Best Director, Oppenheimer. Number 3, Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Scorsese. Who gives a shit how long this movie is? Powerful. Incredible performances. His direction, yes, like elements in it feel like his old school gangster movies, like a Goodfellas or The Departed, but I think the importance of the story, the true drama of it all, the true events that he puts forth here, like he really takes seriously, and to break that fourth wall like he does at the end in a way. I'm not going to say exactly how, because if you haven't seen it, watch the movie. He kind of takes the reins. He takes responsibility for just how this story is told. I know I've this past week, and also like since it's been released, but more so this past week, like I've heard people criticize the approach of this movie, but I think Scorsese, acknowledges that, he did what he could as a white man, with as much privilege as he has, being this world-renowned director, telling this story, and the final scene acknowledges that, aspect of it. It's complicated, it's messy, but I think he does pull it off. So that's my number 3, Martin Scorsese. Number 2, movie not so serious, but I had, the most fun with, I think, this year. I've seen maybe the most times, this year being 2023. I checked last night. I've seen this movie 8 times. Barbie, Greta Gerwig, my number 2 director. I'm hopeful for a future where Gerwig does not only these kinds of movies, but she goes back to making films like Little Women and Lady Bird, because I think she is one of our best directors. Not only with the direction, managing to take like a big blockbuster like this and make it her own, but also just the scripts. I could give a shit what people think about that American Ferrera monologue. I think it's purely Gerwig, and love it or hate it, I love that she got that into a big blockbuster. Like, that alone makes it a powerful move. But yeah, the fact that you can see her style in this big blockbuster, I think is I think another reason why she's one of the best. And I'm praying to God those Chronicles of Narnia movies are good. I'm wary of what's going to happen in her career next after this. But for right now, hey, she's my number 2, best director of the year. Number 1, of course, he directed my number 1 film of the year. My favorite director of all time.
Oh, yes.
He did it again.
28.
Yes. I covered him on the podcast 2828, co-hosted by Mike Schindler. That's right, Steven Soderbergh. Magic Mike's Last Dance. Am I going to explain myself now as to why Magic Mike's Last Dance and why Steven Soderbergh? I don't need to explain Steven Soderbergh. All right, he's the best in my book. Okay, he can do it all. Well, he can do most of it. He can't do it all. I think he kind of refuses to write his own movies anymore. But he can do the cinematography, he can do the editing, he can do the direction. And it's all impeccable in my book, in Magic Mike's Last Dance. Yeah, to see this on a big screen as I did back a year ago, last February, and just be so. I think about that every now and then, just how big and grandiose this movie is, and how it could have been just a streaming only release. A huge reason why I love this movie is because I saw it in a theater when I did. I don't know if I ever told this story, but I was at Lincoln Center at the AMC there in New York on Super Bowl Sunday. There may be like 5 other people in the audience. I was seeing this on the Dolby Cinema screen with a balcony. It was huge. And I had the best time watching Magic Mike's Last Dance. Because it was on a huge screen. So I'm happy that Soderbergh, looking ahead at his career, he's got, I think, 2 movies coming out in theaters, and I can't be more thrilled that he's back. His HBO Max contract, I think, is up, so he can spread his wings and go back to the theaters, because I think that's where he belongs. I love seeing a Soderbergh movie in theaters. That's a big reason why it's number 1, why he's number 1. But yeah, many more reasons I'll get into when I talk about the other list. But those are my 5 best directors. Done. Siobhan?
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. A little basic, but pretty good.
Basic.
Okay. Thank you, Marcelo.
You're welcome.
I shall present my best choices. Of course, number 5. Of course, somebody you have never heard of, Marcelo. I'm going to say Alice Mao McKay. I don't know how you say your middle name. Mayo McKay, who directed the film T-Blockers, released last year.
Okay.
She is 18 years old. Young Australian trans filmmaker. This T-Blockers is her 3rd movie. She also had her 4th movie released last year, called Satanic Panic. I did not get to see it. And her 5th movie is coming out this year, Carnage for Christmas. So again, 18 years old. So she is insanely prolific already, and she is, I think, very good. I saw her first film, So Vam, and I think its ideas are there, but the filmmaking not necessarily. For a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, that makes sense. But like, I think with time, with experience, she's getting slowly better. I think T-Blockers is a very fun kind of exploitation horror film, with good messaging behind it and stuff. And like, it's just kind of cool to see her career like going nuts and her being so prolific, and also improving dramatically. I mean, from Sovam to T blockers, it's like crazy how good she is. How much better she is. Number 4. I'm also looking ahead a little bit with this pick. I'm saying Kyle Edward Ball for Skinamarink.
Oh, nice.
One of the most original horror films in recent memory that I do think will be being chased for a long time. The feelings of a Skinamarink and We're All Going to the World's Fair and the Outwaters. I think these style of films are ushering in a new era of horror filmmaking. I've never seen anything like Skinamarink, and I think Mr. Edward Ball has a real vision and hopefully a future. Number 3, Chad Stahelski for John Wick Chapter 4.
Wow.
Some of the most inventive, creative, wild action filmmaking I have ever seen. 4 films into this franchise in which he directed each entry, co-directed the first one. He just keeps one-upping himself, upping his game, making himself better and better and better. And I think being able to pull off something like the Arc de Triomphe scene had to be just a logistical nightmare and practically impossible. And it's like a miracle that he did it. That lust for creating something new in the action space. He's at the tops of that list. Him and like George Miller are like the only 2 people I can really think of that have done anything dramatically new in the action film space in a long time. And George Miller was 10 years ago now?
Yeah.
Number 2, Paul Schrader, Master Gardener. This film's so delicate. I cannot, like, you see Paul Schrader's Facebook posts. I cannot believe this man makes films like this. So delicate, so well thought out, so masterfully put together. He learned from the Martin Scorsese's and the other people that he wrote for all those years. Like, he truly is like it feels like he's a student who became the master. He's not that he wasn't directing, but I'm considering this a thematic trilogy with First Reformed and Card Counter. Master Gardener maybe the best directed of the 3. He keeps getting better, in my opinion. So reserved in beautiful ways. Number 1, I just mentioned him, Marty Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. I can't really say anything different than what Marcelo said. He said a lot of the important parts. It's just like, yeah, this man, he directed an amazing movie. He's 98 years old or something. And like,
he's not 98 years old.
And he just keeps rolling on, rocking on. Making these incredibly thoughtful epics. He knows when to restrain himself. He knows when to go crazy. And this was a little bit more of a restraint. And it's all the better for it. Martin Scorsese, my favorite director of the year.
81. He's 81 years old.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough. Great list, Siobhan. Not basic at all compared to mine. Mine's very basic.
I wanted to mix things up. I wanted to go with some out there choices.
Yeah. You just wanted to one up me is what's happening.
Yeah, I didn't. Steven Soderbergh. That's an inspired choice. Marcelo. Yeah, I can't take that away from you.
Other ones not so inspired. I see.
Everybody's talking about Christopher Nolan.
Who? The director of Tenet.
The director of Tenet. Yeah.
All right. We're doing Best Picture next. How do we do this? Do I just go?
Insomnia.
Yeah, the director of Insomnia, the director of Following. Everybody loves Following. People can't stop talking about Following. Have you seen that, by the way? Have you seen Following?
I've seen Following, yeah.
Do you? What's your take on Following?
It's all right. I don't know. It's a first film.
I don't remember anything about it. I have it.
I know. I just remember thinking this is all right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I own it on Criterion, but
I think the black and white choice wasn't good.
Yeah, maybe I should revisit it because I haven't seen that in like maybe 10 years. Anyway, future Oscar winner. Okay, Best Picture. Should I just zip through my 10? Is that the plan?
I kind of feel like I'm going to, so I don't know. I mean, you can say what you want if there's one that's more interesting that stands out to say something, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll zip through my 10. All right, my Best Pictures of 2023. Number 10, The Zone of Interest. I've said it already. Impactful, important, especially. I mean, more and more so. It's becoming more and more important. So Zone of Interest, number 10. Number 9, Blackberry. I mentioned this movie in a few categories in the past episodes. Just want to reiterate how great it is. I think it's on Hulu now. For those who want to see it, finally. Not only is Glenn Howerton incredible, I think the entire cast is like very good. The lead, Jay Baruchel.
He is the lead. That's weird to think of. He is so overshadowed, but I mean that's by design.
Yeah. But like it's a comedy, I think first and foremost. But when it needs to be a drama, when things get serious, I think Baruchel handles it pretty well. He's a really good actor. But yeah, very much overpowered by Howerton. And also shout out to the director, co-writer Matt Johnson, who also stars in the movie and is very underappreciated, I think, as an actor too in the movie.
Absolutely, discovered by Kevin Smith, of course.
Wow, I didn't know that actually.
His movie was his first movie, The Dirties, is one of the few films that was distributed by Smodcast Films.
Okay.
And that's the reason I know about him. And if you follow his career, I have not seen the second movie. I'm going to watch Operation Avalanche probably tonight, actually.
Oh,
but I think it's on one of the frees, like Plex, I think. But yeah, he is. If you've seen Nirvana, the band, The Show, or he's a true talent and very much like not creating things within the norm. He's challenging expectations.
Yeah.
And Glenn Howerton, I mean, he's from Waterloo where the vampires hang out.
One of the best lines of the year, that line. But hey, I know that clip's been going around. Just folks listening, the main point here, go see it. Go see Blackberry. It's on Hulu. Go watch it. Number 8, Oppenheimer. Enough said. Oppenheimer's Oppenheimer. Number 7, May December. I've talked about it a lot this season. I think the script is amazing, acting amazing. I talked about the score a few episodes ago. All of it works for me. I've seen it a few times. I could see it again if I had Netflix. Solid. I mean, so solid. It's in my top 10. It's my number 7. May December. Number 6, Asteroid City. Another Wes Anderson that I think it's definitely more appreciated than his last movie, French Dispatch. French Dispatch really just kind of flew under the radar. But I mean, when you see the Oscar nominees and you realize Asteroid City was the same year and it didn't get any nominations, that is a travesty, sure. But I think Wes Anderson and his later career, I think in years' time we'll go back and go, oh, that's right. He's been making classics all this time. So Asteroid City, another classic.
Well, I think I don't know why it's not Asteroid City, but one of these films is going to hit, and it'll be like the film of the Oscars, I think.
Yeah. Well, one that kind of did that was like Grand Budapest. Like I
like Grand Budapest. I think that'll happen again.
Yeah. But he's never won an Oscar. I mean, he might win one this year for the best short film, but Oscars are Oscars, right? But
Fake.
I hope we finally get over as a society that he's too much of a twee, brand, and whatever. Any negative connotation you want to put on Wes Anderson, I hope that,
I hate when a filmmaker has a style.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking idiots. Every filmmaker has a style. Get over it. Asteroid City, another Wes Anderson classic. Number 5, Showing Up. Kelly Reichardt.
Wow, number 5. I like that.
Yeah, directed by Kelly Reichardt, starring Michelle Williams. A film I've seen just once. I think out of these films, it's the only film I've just seen once. The other ones I've seen at least twice, but it stuck with me. It was released, I think, over the summer. I remember distinctly coming in, kind of no expectations, but coming out just completely affected by it. I love that finale. I love all the pieces coming together. I talked about it, I think, when we talked about best actresses. Michelle Williams' performance is so down-to-earth, low-key, reserved, but yet I just felt for her and related to her and just what she's going through as a struggling artist. Not to say I'm a struggling artist, but I can relate as somebody who is struggling. But yeah, showing up as number 5. Number 4, Past Lives. I've said this before too. It's made me cry. I think it definitely is relatable when it comes to relationships for some people. You can hang your emotional baggage on this movie, and and I've seen, speaking of criticism, I've seen criticism about this movie, which I guess I understand. And even Siobhan, you weren't the biggest fan of this, right? A lot of people have been heaping praise on it, but
I think I should watch it again, honestly.
Yeah. And not to like force the topic, not to forcibly say watch this movie again so you'll like it, but I don't know. I can't get over the fact that like it speaks to me, and talking with other people who liked it as much as I did, it speaks to them. Because it's for anybody who's been through a relationship and then is in a new relationship and kind of has to deal with that struggle of loving more than one person in your life. Like, that's the theme of the movie. It's like, can I go from one love to another? That theme to me, I think, hits home, and it's a huge reason why I love this movie. Not only that, but the performances, the very simple camera work, the way it ends, God, it is incredible. So, Past Lives. That was my number 4? Yeah, number 4. Number 3, Killers of the Flower Moon. I've said it already. Not much more needs to be said. Incredible movie, masterwork. If you ask me, that's the movie that should be winning the Oscars over any other movie this year. Hot take, but I think that's the masterpiece of the year. Number 2, Barbie. I hate to put it over something like Killers of the Flower Moon, but I'm doing it. Sorry. I can split my brain up into like serious, dramatic, appreciation of heavy subjects, and on the other side of my brain is just very fun, poppy, glossy, blockbusters. And Barbie is that, but also it's fun and also emotional. And another relatable movie. Funnily enough, I could also see my struggles through Barbie struggles. Again, I'm going through it. That's number 2, Barbie. Number 1, Magic Mike's Last Dance. I said all I need to say about this movie when I talked about Soderbergh, but yeah, to me, it's perfect in a way of like a director, I still think, who is at the top of his game, who can still deliver like a pop like masterpiece, which I think this is. And yeah, it's great to see my favorite director still making amazing films. That's my number 1, Magic Mike's Last Dance. And I'm done.
Siobhan? I love that list, Marcelo. I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Thank you. So now it's your turn.
No, I'm kidding.
A little basic? I'll go fuck yourself.
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Good stuff. Okay, yeah. My number 10, I already talked about it, T-Blockers, with Alice Mayo McKay. But, very, very personal, very personal to me pick. Solid, just zombie killing action with a social bent to it that is very cathartic. Number 9, Marcelo's number 1 of the year, Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Hey!
And I could not be more surprised that I loved this film as much as I did. First Magic Mike, do not like it at all. Second Magic Mike, I'm not in the cult, but I did like it. Magic Mike's Last Dance, loved it. Over the moon about it. I think it's phenomenal. They really wrapped up this weird trilogy in a very cool way. I liked it a lot. Salma Hayek has a lot to do with that. The final rain dance has so much to do with that.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Number 8, Leave the World Behind. I've talked about this a lot in the past whatever episodes, but it presents to me a future that's totally theoretically possible of like the nation gets cyber attacked and all of our systems start failing us and everything is like scary and information is impossible to parse and nothing makes sense. It's like the most unique apocalyptic film I have seen in forever, even though I'm about to put up another apocalypse film right above it. But still, my most unique one that could theoretically happen, I guess. And it brings a lot of, it's from the creator, Mr. Robot, and it brings a lot of those visual flourishes from Mr. Robot, a lot of that stylistic approach that Sam Esmail has to filmmaking. I am so glad to see that it translates to making movies, and it wasn't just a flash in the pan for a TV show. I would absolutely love to see whatever he can do next. Number 7, my second apocalypse film, Knock at the Cabin.
Ooh.
M. Night Shyamalan, much more fantastical creation, but one that is very emotionally rich and engaging, and terrifying and beautiful all the same way. We have these moments of absolute fucked up horror, and then we have beautiful stuff like what happens near the how we're seeing the family connect to each other throughout the film and near the end, and all anchored by fantastic performances by the two dads and Dave Bautista, and it's just it's wonderful. The mind of M. Night Shyamalan, he is absolutely one of our best filmmakers. I think you're silly if you say not. Okay, number 6, Sanctuary. Sexual, sensual, erotic thriller.
Horny.
Not something that we get too often anymore. Horny. Kind of like a power dynamic play, like who has the power, who doesn't. Then that shifts throughout the film. Very tense and again, just fun to watch that power dynamic shift. Great, 2 amazing performances with Chris Rabbit and Margaret Qualley. Their chemistry is off the charts. And for a film set entirely within a hotel room, I believe it is very good looking and like well crafted. Number 5, looking towards the future once again, Skinamarink.
Ooh, baby.
This is what I want horror to do from now on, which is actually get under your skin and horrify you. I've never seen anything like Skinamarink. Skinamarink is, it feels like an anomaly. It feels otherworldly. It feels actually demonic. Evil. It's terrifying, not in the jump scare way, but in the like, God, what the fuck am I watching? And you examine it, and it only gets more and more terrifying. It's fantastic. But it's not in like an edgelordy way where it feels like they're trying too hard. Like it walks a tightrope, and it does it perfectly. Number 4, John Wick Chapter 4.
Ooh,
yeah, it's action filmmaking nirvana, just brilliance. I've watched this film like 5 or 6 times or something in the last month, because I just keep wanting to watch it again, and I want to watch it again right now because it is just so fucking good. It is everything the promise of John Wick is, I think. There's nobody making action films like this. Number 3, Saw X.
Ah.
From the Jigsaw is back in his most masterful game yet. He has to travel to Mexico and deal with healthcare issues. It serves as a very scathing critique of the U.S. healthcare system, just like Saw 6 did. And Saw 6 is my other favorite Saw movie, and like it deals with the same themes, and it does it in a more with a lighter touch, you could say, than Saw 6 did, and I think that's great. I think that approach worked just as well. And we get the most of John Kramer, Tobin Bell.
He's back.
John Kramer's back, but Tobin Bell is also back as John Kramer. He gets to act his ass off, give the performance of a lifetime as this character that he has been playing for 20 odd years. Just about. As a Saw head, this gave me everything I could have wanted and refreshed the series in a very cool way. I am eager and a little nervous about rushing a sequel for the next year, but whatever, baby, that's Saw.
This year.
The next year.
Yeah.
This year. But again, that's Saw, baby. I mean, they made magic with 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's missteps along the way, but they made some incredible shit in there with their yearly release schedule. So hopefully they do it again with Saw 11. Or X1. Do they want us to call it that from now on? I don't know.
I don't know.
Number 2. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride on any of my lists. It's always number 2. Master Gardener. I just love it to bits. I've talked about it way too much. But Paul Schrader, watch out for that one.
Keep my eye on that one, yeah.
Yeah, and number 1, Killers of the Flower Moon. Also, keep your eye out for one Martin Scorsese, 98 years old, coming out to a new... His next film, I believe, is called Cry Macho. Is that right?
Yes. I believe you're thinking of the right director, yes. Cry Macho.
Yes. And it's just, I don't know how he does it. This shit, it's so good.
Let's hope he makes that Jesus movie right away.
The Jesus movie.
That 90-minute Jesus movie he has planned. That he took a meeting with the Pope and talked about it, apparently.
What?
Oh, yeah, have you not seen that video?
About this one.
Like the Pope walks in and Scorsese's there to greet him. They just sit down and just talk. Weird. But hey, that's
loved Kundun. Says
that's what he said. Yeah, Scorsese, good guy. Those were our picks. Wow, we did it. After what, like 13 weeks, we finally revealed our favorite films and directors of the year, and
we did it.
So closes the book
on us.
And we can move on.
No.
To what?
No.
What?
No, we can't move on. That closes the book on us, Marcelo.
Oh, I mean, okay. I should say I forgot to mention my honorable mentions. Poor Things, The Killer, and Skinamarink.
No. I don't want any
right
of this.
There.
I don't want any of this.
11, 12, 13. I could have mentioned them. All right, now we can move on.
Fuck that is. No, we can't move on, Marcelo. We have to go to the talkfilmsociety.com/discord.
What?
Talkfilmsociety.com/discord. If you want to come in, talk about movies. I went in there. I asked the talkfilmsociety.com/discord people in our Talk Awards channel if they would give us their choices for their best directors and best pictures. I told them they can list up to 10 best pictures.
Whoa.
Because that's what the Academy tells us we're allowed to do. And our first respondent... Jay McMillan, superstar. These look to be unranked. He starts off with KOTFM. I believe he means Killers of the Flower Moon. All Dirt Roads, Taste of Salt. He's mentioned that before. I don't know what it is.
I've heard about it.
20 Days in Mariupol. I've only heard the name.
That's one I have not heard of.
Zone of Interest. Marcelo, you mentioned it.
Yeah, in my list.
Anatomy of a Fall. The Academy mentioned that one. Mm-hmm. Past Lives. Marcelo, you mentioned it.
Yep.
Little Richard, I Am Everything. A documentary, I assume.
Documentary, I suppose. Yeah.
Oppenheimer. All of Us Strangers. and Rye Lane. I've never heard that one before. A lot of interesting choices here because he's definitely seen a lot of more off the beaten path films.
Yeah, interesting picks from an interesting player.
And the best director doesn't give us the films they directed, so I guess we're gonna have to guess those. But Martin Scorsese,
Goodfellas,
okay. Jonathan Glazer, the Jamiroquai video. Justine Triet, she directed like a Lindt chocolate commercial or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Celine Song. She probably did another music video. And Christopher Nolan.
Following,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah Thompson comes here. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Vera Drew, our second best friend, Marcelo and I's second best friend, Vera Drew, for The People's Joker. Chad Stahelski, John Wick Chapter 4. Wes Anderson, Asteroid City. Ari Aster, Beau is Afraid. Not a lot of Beau is Afraid talk. I wish I had seen it.
Worth a watch, I'd say.
I just didn't see it for this, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to go 10-1 on his list. He did rank his 10, Barbie, 9, The Killer, 8, The Holdovers, 9, The Killer. I'm surprised The Killer wasn't on either of ours. 7, The People's Joker, directed by our second best friend, Vera Drew. 6, Jawan. 5, Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Nice.
Baby. 4, The Iron Claw.
Nice.
3, Asteroid City. 2, John Wick Chapter 4. Number 1, Oppenheimer. Good list. Iron Claw. You know, there's a good chance that probably could have been my number 10 if I didn't kind of force T-blockers in there just because I wanted to be kind of like a more personal movie to me.
By the way, I like Noah Thompson's director picks in that Beau's Afraid at Ari Aster. That's in his best director list, but Beau's Afraid not in his top 10 films.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
And I love the Vera Drew shout out. Thank you. He got to see at like the Chicago International Film Festival the People's Joker. We will all get to see the People's Joker as it travels the country starting in April.
Yeah, and that'll let's see if that'll be on our top 10 list next year.
Yes, of 2024. We're not all so fortunate to get to be able to go to fancy film festivals.
I'm going to South by Southwest in 2 weeks.
Number two. Number two
of what?
Friend of the site, Sam shot first. It bears. It would behoove me to mention.
Keep in mind, listeners.
Yes, friend of the site, Sam shot first. Sam Van Haren. He used to host a podcast called Keanu, Believe It, where he talked about the career of Keanu Reeves. So the man is partial to the work of Keanu Reeves, and it is important to keep that in mind for a couple of his a couple of his picks.
Pickles.
Okay, so just keep in mind Keanu Reeves. He's a little biased. Okay, more than a little. Okay, so best director, he says Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Martin Scorsese for KOTFM, I believe he means Killers of the Flower Moon. James Gunn for GOTG Volume 3, I believe he means Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Chad Stahelski for John Wick Chapter 4. That's where the Keanu comes in. You have to remember he hosted a podcast. He's a friend of the site, but he has biases. Greta Gerwig for Barbie.
Nice.
Honorable mention for Best Debut. Michael B. Jordan for Creed 3. I appreciate that. Hey, damn good debut. He's working within a framework, but he makes it his own, I think.
Yeah, good pick. Yeah, I do like that movie, that direction, especially when he goes anime in those fight sequences. Yeah.
Yeah, those fight sequences are very fantastic.
Yeah.
Best Picture alphabetical. He lists them alphabetical. Okay. So, well, we might learn a thing or two here.
ABC.
American Fiction, Barbie, Creed 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He was able to spell it out here and not up there. The Holdovers, John Wick Chapter 4. Scratch that one from the record. Killers of the Flower Moon. Nimona.
Ooh,
might
nice.
still be free on the YouTube. Probably
I don't
not
think so anymore. I think the other day was the last day, so no longer free on YouTube.
But hopefully a lot of people got to see it.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix.
Our friend Joey got, I believe he talked about it on the animation episode.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Solid.
So I have nothing here to say.
Me neither. I think good picks.
Yeah, I'm sorry you gave in to your baser instincts with your John Wick picks, but it's okay.
Kind of almost sullied the whole thing, but in the end, pulled through.
Guardians is a better movie, I think, than... Like, I think Guardians will be one that we look back on a lot fonder.
Yeah.
And, like, as a whole trilogy especially, like, Guardians 3 is just a fantastic ender to that. And, like, I think in years' time, it'll be one we're still talking about.
I think it came out, unfortunately, during a time when comic book movies are all going downhill.
Yes, that's the only problem it has, really.
Yeah, really. Because, I'm looking back at my list and seeing where it ranked. It's at 17, but that's in between the Iron Claw and the Holdovers, so that should tell you something. It's a solid movie, and I'm echoing what Siobhan is saying. We'll look back on it fondly.
Once the MCU is turned to ashes.
Yeah.
It's at 14 on my old list of but I think it would be moved down probably to 17 by now. Who do we got here? We got the real Matt C, former co-host of the show, replaced me for one episode. He comes in here, best picture, seems to be unranked, as far as I can. Nope, this looks to be
alphabetical.
Asteroid City, Barbie, The Creator. Okay,
good pick for him.
Okay, Ferrari.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good pick. You know, Ferrari, unfortunately, has disappeared from the conversation.
It really did.
Yeah, unfortunately. I do think that is a solid movie.
The Holdovers. No thanks. John Wick Chapter 4. Killers of the Flower Moon. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. It's tough to say, but I do believe he means Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, but he might also be right. Oppenheimer. Best Director, Wes Anderson for Asteroid City, Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Alexander Payne for The Holdovers, Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank you for getting Alexander Payne's name out there.
Okay.
Mike Schindler, he always comes in short and sweet.
Love
he says
for
best pick. He's you're a Soderbergh friend.
Yeah.
Best Picture, Air. Damn.
Wow.
Dude. Best Directors, Across the Spider-Verse.
Now, okay.
Now, this one I'm weird. This is a little
weird. Can a movie be a best director? Is the anthropomorphized movie directing its own movie?
It seems like it, because I definitely don't know the name of the two people that did direct that movie.
It wasn't.
Was one of them Across the, and the other one was Spider-Verse?
Hello, Mr. Spider-Verse. Here's the new edit of the movie.
Thank you, Across the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better look next time, Mike Schindler. Please put names in so we know exactly what you're talking about.
And we will not look them up to credit them properly.
No way.
Because apparently they led a very bad production.
Yes.
Joey.
But they'll win the Oscar.
They will. Joey. In alphabetical order, he says his best picture nominations. They're not nominations. His best picture choices: American Fiction, The Boy and the Heron. He was on our animation episode, and this is why he says shit like The Boy and the Heron.
He says shit like an animated film is one of his best of the year. He says shit like that.
Crazy shit like that. Yeah. Ferrari, another Ferrari vote. Maybe we should get up on this.
What
Godzilla -1. Maybe we should get on the Ferrari hype wagon.
Okay,
be there early.
Right.
Godzilla -1. I am shocked this is the first time this came up.
That was hey, honorable mention. I have a lot of honorable mentions, but that is definitely one of them.
Cool. The Iron Claw, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Nimona, another animated film. That's
You
two.
love to see it.
2 out of our 8 spaces so far. That's a quarter. Past Lives. And he ends it off with another animated film called Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. 3 out of his 10 choices are animated. He was on our animated episode, and that's why. Okay. Now, Best Director. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Celine Song, Past Lives. Michael Mann, Ferrari. Hayao Miyazaki, The Boy and the Heron.
Great.
He adds a note here. Animation directing is directing and deserves celebration. Shout out to the Spider-Verse directors as well for wrangling a massive production and helping make it all coherent. Marcelo, this is a little mea culpa. We have been banging this drum all year that animation directing is not directing. And you know what? I'm willing to give it up at this point. Joey really turned me around. Animation directing is directing and does deserve celebration.
Yeah, like you said, Siobhan, every episode we open up by saying, we have a recording of us saying, keep in mind, while listening to this episode, we do not think animation directing is directing. For 13 episodes now. We do not think Joaquim Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson, the directors of Cross Universe, we don't think they should deserve any credit. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Until now, it is a mea culpa. Joey
turned us.
You got us. Yeah.
Now, that is the end of our talkfilmsociety.com/Discord, but it is not the end of this segment. I have a second Discord that I go to, one that Marcelo's not allowed in. It is for fans.
Yeah, by the way, can't I be in there somehow?
Marcelo, if you want me to, I will invite you.
You know what? Don't.
Okay. So this is for fans of the podcast Hollywood Handbook. They have a films and TV channel. And I go in there and I ask the fine folks there if they'll help us out with some more picks. It looks like our first respondent here is Mr. Gale. That's not true. That's not true. Sorry, I need to scroll back up a little. Mr. Gale, you wait your turn. Our first respondent, Edgar Allan Iverson, is his screen name. His real name is George. He is the host of the podcast Last Little Horror House in Philly. Excuse me. I believe I mean that. George gives us his picks. Asteroid City, which is in italicized, so I believe that's his number one. Blackberry, Godzilla -1, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Mask, Oppenheimer, and Shin Kamen Rider. The Mask is a short film directed by Connor O'Malley.
Okay.
I believe it's like 20 to 30 minutes or something. He put it out a couple months ago.
I seem to remember going down a wormhole and looking this up. Is this not the one where he, for months or maybe years, he pretended to be somebody else, like a struggling actor, and posted all these posts and somehow became like a semi-viral and famous? Like,
and then he went to SeaWorld or something, or the Water World stunt show, I think, and got killed. It is a very funny, creative experiment.
Yeah.
Shin Kamen Rider. I don't know anything about it. George has brought this up many times. I just want to give it a special mention because he has brought it up a lot.
It's a movie I almost saw. I believe it's from the same people who did Shin Ultraman, which I enjoyed.
Best Director. Finchy. I believe he means David Fincher for The Killer, which he did not put in his movie thing.
Interesting.
Marty. I believe he means Martin Scorsese, director of Killers of the Flower Moon. Wes. I believe he means Wes Anderson for Asteroid City. M. Night. I believe he means M. Night Shyamalan, director of Knock at the Cabin. And Matt Johnson, director of Blackberry, is italicized, so I believe that's his winner.
Nice.
Now we scroll back down and we find Mr. Gale. Mr. Gale, it's your turn. He said Blackberry / whoever directed Blackberry. Mr. Gale. A simple Google search will tell you that's Matt Johnson.
Or just ask Siri, hey Siri, who directed the film Blackberry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. All right, Richard Gere Solid, superstar, comes in here with the... Okay, he's Canadian, so he says his dates might be mixed up. They're different than ours sometimes. Blackberry, Poor Things, Barbie, Four Daughters, which I'm unfamiliar with. That's the only one here.
Familiar. I'll look it up.
Is it like Four Brothers?
Yeah, it's the sequel.
It's the all girl reboot of Four Brothers.
No. Looking this up, I may have heard about it, but I really don't know much about it. So no.
Okay. Godzilla -1, Beau is Afraid, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Anatomy of a Fall. I do believe all of those came out last year, so your Canadianness did not pester you there.
You made it.
Now, and for directors, getting some names wrong on purpose to tease Siobhan. You naughty boy. Matt Johnson, that one's correct. Blackberry. Martin Scorsese, I believe, for Killers of the Flower Moon. Gretz. Greta Gerwig for Barbie, I think.
Yeah.
Jorg. I believe that's Yorgos Lanthimos.
But by the way, first mention of, I think, Yorgos Lanthimos. Nobody else mentioned Yorgos.
That's true.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not a lot of fans of that fish ones.
All right.
Director of Poor Things. And Wes Anderson. Director of, that's I believe they mean Wes Anderson. Director of Asteroid City, which does not feature in their list up there.
Interesting.
Stukeman.
Superstar,
Stukeman. Best Picture. Poor Things, italicized. I think that means winner. Past Lives. The Holdovers. Godzilla -1. May, December. I like that, Marcelo.
Yeah, nice.
Asteroid City. Blackberry. We all like that.
Yep.
Killers of the Flower Moon. How to Blow Up a Pipeline. I like that.
Oh, wow. Good. First mention of that movie. Yeah. Solid movie. Didn't make my top 20, but good. Good to hear.
Best Director. David Andrew Leo Fincher.
Okay.
Georgios Yorgos Lanthimos. Martin Charles Scorsese. Wesley Wales Anderson. And John Francis Daly and Jonathan Michael Goldstein. What'd they direct? What's that? John Daly and John Goldstein?
Hold on, I'll look it up. John Daly.
How to Blow Up a Pipeline, maybe?
I believe so. I have the How to Blow Up a Pipeline page. No, Pipeline was directed by Daniel Goldhaber.
What is John Francis Daly and John Goldstein? John Daly, John Goldstein.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, first vote for that.
Yeah, the pair who also directed Game Night.
Okay, and then Richard Gere Solid comes in. If Zone of Interest counts as 2023, please add that to my picks. And Johnny Glaze on the Best Directors list. Will do, Richard. Will do.
Done and done.
I think that
does it.
Yep, I think that is the end of our crowd participation for this episode, perhaps ever.
Wow. Yeah, we have no other questions to ask in the last 2 episodes of this season.
Nope.
Because next week, Talk Film Society Awards winners. The week after that, the Oscars.
The Oscars, baby.
The Oscars, baby. We're going to ask you what your favorite Oscar is. Oscar the Grouch, Oscar Isaac. We have fun here. All right, last segment. Get ready. The Gold Derby games.
Oscar, I hardly know her.
Let's get through this.
The Gold Derby game, no.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah. Best director. Let's do that first. Best director.
Okay, I have to look up like the nominees. Hold on.
Yeah, you look up the nominees. I'll explain what it is. Gold Derby game. Every episode, and this will be the last one because I can't imagine we do this next week or the week after. This is it. Gold Derby game. The site Gold Derby is where prognosticators, amateurs, losers, they try to pick the winners of award shows, including the Oscars. They rank the nominees from most likely to least likely to win. I'm going to ask Siobhan to rank first the best directors in the category. Let's do 5 to 1. Let's go from least likely to win to most likely to win. Best director, Oscar.
Okay.
This year.
Number 5, Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
Number 4, Jonathan Glazer, Zone of Interest. Number 3, Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 2, Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. Number 1, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
Let's see what you did. Let's see what you got here. Let's go with the easy one. Number 1, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I got that one right.
Yeah.
Right. We all knew that.
Yeah, we all knew that one. Yeah. Number 2, Yorgos Lanthimos. Another point.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, another point.
Oh my god. So I switched them at the last second. I'm glad I did it.
Number 3, according to Gold Derby, Jonathan Glazer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The disrespect for Marty.
Yeah. It continues because number 4.
What?
Justine Triet.
Okay.
And number 5, according to Gold Derby, Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look, I didn't think he'd win, but I didn't.
He's the least likely to win. Martin Scorsese, one of the maybe the best of all time. Maybe the greatest director who's ever lived. Number 5.
Okay.
Okay, to reiterate, Nolan won, according to Gold Derby. Then Yorgos Lanthimos, Jonathan Glazer, Justine Triet. Again, Scorsese, number 5. What a loser. All right. Now, Siobhan, get that Best Picture category ready.
Marcella,
you don't want to do this?
this one is total dog shit. I'm gonna get every single one of these wrong.
You're not gonna get every single one wrong. That's impossible. You're gonna get at least one. You're gonna get at least one right.
I'm gonna get one right, and I think I'm gonna get 2 right, and then I think after that I have no idea.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, number 10.
Yeah, number 10.
American Fiction. Number 9, Past Lives. Number 8, Anatomy of a Fall. Number 7, Maestro.
Okay.
Number 6, The Zone of Interest. Number 5, The Holdovers.
Okay.
Number 4, Barbie. Number 3, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 2, Poor Things. Number 1, Oppenheimer.
Your picks are locked in.
I guess.
Yeah. Let's see how many you got right. Let's go through this. Let's go the reverse way. Let's go 10 to 1.
The order I presented them in.
Yes, let's go your way. Number 10, according to Gold Derby, least likely to win the Oscar this year, according to these jerks on this website. Past Lives. Wrong. Sorry. Number 9, Maestro.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Surprising.
Number 8, Zone of Interest.
Okay.
Number 7, American Fiction. Number 6, Barbie.
I almost had Barbie at 6. God damn it.
Number 5, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 4, Anatomy of a Fall.
Just shaking my damn head over here.
Number 3, Poor Things.
Number 2, The Holdovers?
Number 2, The Holdovers.
What?
Number 1, Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really hope Holdovers is not in pole position here.
How would that ruin your mood if at the end of the night The Holdovers wins Best Picture?
God, it's not the worst movie to win Best Picture, but like, it would not make me happy. No, I would turn the TV off in mild disgust.
Yeah. Just to go back, your ranking versus Gold Derby. You got 1 point. You got Oppenheimer.
I got Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I got 2 in Best Director. So
yeah.
3
so
points.
three out of 15.
Out of a possible 15.
But okay, again, remember that time you got like 15 in a row, right?
I do. I'm holding on
great.
to that.
Yeah. That's it. Gold Gerby. God fucking damn it.
Gold
Gerby.
Goldberby.
Goldberg Barbie. All right. That's it.
Marcelo, did you buy the Barbies that were like these versions of Ken and Barbie?
No. You know,
I hope you did.
I almost bought because AMC, the merchandise site, recently had a sale. I almost bought the Barbie the Barbie car popcorn holder, but
fun.
I decided not to. One, because I'm unemployed still, and 2, where the fuck am I going to put that thing? Just a fucking Barbie car popcorn holder, and it doesn't even look like it can hold popcorn. It's just a Barbie car. You put your Barbie in there, and then just popcorn on top. Anyway,
I got a Fast X toolbox popcorn holder. It's just a toolbox.
So you can just say anything's a popcorn holder?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's the Gold Derby game. One more thing before we go. We got to pick who's going to win these categories. What's going to win Best Director? What's going to win Best Picture? Our final picks. Siobhan, you go first.
Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
Yep. That's Best Director. What about Best Picture?
Oppenheimer.
Yep. Same with me. It'll be a huge shock if Chris Nolan does not win Best Director. I'll say that. That might be the biggest surprise of the night if he doesn't win Best Director, because I think he's primed to do it. It's his turn. He checked off all the boxes. He's won all the awards so far. It's his to win. He's going to win it. Best Picture, yeah, Oppenheimer. Same thing, but that one, like, I'm not as certain about. I mean, there's a very, very, very good chance Oppenheimer will win, but I'm not going to rule out something surprising. Like, if Anatomy of a Fall wins Best Picture, I'd be like, okay, sure, right? Or maybe not Killers of the Flower Moon, because that doesn't seem like, to me it seems like the best option. But Academy's not going to pick it. I'll just say Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, Nolan, done. We did it. Done. That's it. Siobhan, another episode done. How do you feel?
Just terrible.
Okay, great.
I'm sorry we did this, everybody. But thanks for listening, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you got something out of it.
God, please.
At this point, the voting is done for Talk Film Society Awards this year. If you want to participate in the actual picking of the winners, because the ballot is closed, the nominees are decided, but the winners will be picked in the Discord. Where can people go if they want to go to the Discord, Siobhan?
TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord.
Yeah, go there. When this comes out, March 1st, the following day, the 2nd and 3rd, is when I'm going to... I'm not sure exactly how it's going to happen. This is going to be like an off-mic discussion. But on Discord, there's going to be a process, and we'll announce the winners next episode for the Talk Film Society Awards Best of 2023. That's it. That's all I got to say. All right. Siobhan, talk to you next time.
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
And that's it. We're done. We don't got to talk to each other
done.
for a while. Then
God. and maybe we'll have another podcast project revival.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Tease that out. Yeah. All right. That's it. Now for our signature catchphrase. Hey, see you at the Oscars. Nope. I don't say that. See you at the movies. Nope. I don't say that either. All right.